Don't believe what they want you to believe.
What a way to start the show.
Well, that's not the show for that kind of intro.
Depends on your opinion.
Good evening, listeners. It's time to peel back reality. To dive deep into the darkness. To boldly go where the hell did Joe go? I start quoting Star Trek and he fucking left?
You scared him off.
He got so excited his dick canceled his screen?
I was going to say, his boner flipped the keyboard off of his desk.
Justin about to say Star Trek lines? Oh.
I know.
So sudden, so rigid.
My fingers slipped.
Yeah, that's what you told her, huh? Anyways, it's time for Vin and Justin's Tinfoil Hat Society. I am co-host of the show, Justin, joined by my little broski.
Then I'm big brother.
No.
Yeah, huh?
The timeline doesn't support that.
No, I am older than you.
Oh, you're going by Earth years. Sorry.
I'm as old as the entire universe, Vin.
His thetans are very well aged.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
Thetans you use here. Well, where I come from, we use midichlorians.
Oh, now you're really trying to piss him off.
Anyway, and as always, joining us, our resident skeptics, our panel of who you be?
Is that our name? The
Yeah.
Panel of Nah?
The panel
The
of
panel of nah.
I'm Counselor Mike. Chairman Mike.
And I'm Ranger Joe. Ranger Joe.
Tonight, we're going to discuss the Lochness Monster.
Just the Lochness Monster?
No.
Not Ogopogo?
Hang
Not
on.
Champ?
Don't fucking get ahead of yourself here.
Oh, you said Lochness Monster. I had a valid question.
No, you interrupted what I was going to say. The Loch Ness Monster, and if it's real or not. And if it is, what is it? And how come there's so many others?
I think it's real.
This surprises me.
But maybe not real. Maybe not real in the way you think. I think that I know you know that I know.
No.
I don't know. Given my younger years, I thought it was real, and then given technology and sonar,
Hold on. We're going to get to that, Joe. You keep your little skeptical panties on until we come to that bridge, huh?
Oh yeah, you keep your Superman red belly button high panties on to go along with your red panty booties.
You set that up. You made that happen.
I did. The Loch Ness Monster, also known as Nessie, is a mythical creature in Scottish folklore that is said to inhabit Loch Ness in the Scottish Highlands. It is often described as large, long-necked, and with one or more humps protruding from the water. Popular interest and belief in the creature has varied since it was brought to worldwide attention in 1933. Evidence of its existence is anecdotal, with a number of disputed photographs and sonar readings. So,
buttons.
The earliest report of a monster in the vicinity of Loch Ness appears in the Life of Saint Columba by Adamon, written in the 7th century AD, according to Adamon. Writing about a century after the events described, Irish monk Saint Columba was staying in the land of the Peaks with his companions when he encountered local residents burying a man by the river Ness. They explained that the man was swimming in the river when he was attacked by a, quote, water beast that mauled him and dragged him underwater despite their attempts to rescue him by boat. Columba sent a follower. Oh man, I can't pronounce that one. Let's call him Lou. Well, the name is Luigne, Moccumin, and I'm not about to fucking attempt it. Lou. They sent his follower Lou to swim across the river. The beast approached him, but Columba made the sign of the cross and said, "Go no further. Do not touch the man. Go back at once." The creature stopped as if it had been pulled back with ropes and fled, and Columba's men in the peaks gave thanks for what they perceived as a miracle.
You shall not pass.
Yeah, it was very Gandalf of him.
Gandalf the lame.
I think absinthe was involved with this.
More than a little bit of alcohol was tipped back that day.
It's Scotland.
Well, it's Scotland. Come on, that doesn't. It's like drinking water to them. Okay,
But they had absinthe,
they don't give me that inebriated shit.
and they be tripping balls.
Yeah, I was thinking psychedelics, like, what was that fungus that they found in Salem? It was like something with wheat. The wheat was like, there was like a frost with the wheat.
Yeah.
Whatever, doesn't matter.
Anyway, continuing. In October 1871, D. Mackenzie of Balnain reportedly saw an object resembling a log or an upturned boat wriggling and churning on the water, moving slowly at first, but before disappearing at a faster speed. In 1888, Alexander MacDonald of Ebrechen sighted a large, stubby-legged animal surfacing from the loch and propelling itself within 50 yards of the shore where MacDonald stood. MacDonald reported his sighting to Loch Ness water bailiff Alex Campbell and described the creature as looking like a salamander.
Goddamn Lochness Monster.
That's right, okay? Don't think he don't exist. You see him every time you walk out of the fucking grocery store this time of year.
And he goes, "I need about $3.50.
Yeah. It's like, want to buy some Girl Scout cookies? Well, how much? It's about $3.50. Oh, god damn it, Lochness Monster.
Oh, it's more like secret.
I gave it to him.
God damn it, woman. Of course the Lochness Monster's going to keep coming around.
I thought he'd go away if I gave him $1.
L.D. McKay in 1933, the best-known article that first attracted a great deal of attention about a creature was published on May 2nd, 1933, the Inverness Courier, about a large beast or whale-like fish. The article by Alex Campbell, water bailiff for Loch Ness and a part-time journalist, discussed a sighting by L.D. McKay of an enormous creature with the body of a whale rolling in the water in the loch while she and her husband John were driving on the A82 on April 15th. The word monster was reportedly applied for the first time in Campbell's article, although some reports claim that it was coined by editor Evan Barron. Here's a quote from the article. The creature disported itself, rolling and plunging for fully a minute, its body resembling that of a whale, and the water cascading and churning like a simmering cauldron. Soon, however, it disappeared in a boiling mass of foam. Both onlookers confessed that there was something uncanny about the whole thing, for they realized that here was no ordinary denizen of the depths, because, apart from its enormous size, the beast, in taking the final plunge, sent out waves that were big enough to have been caused by a passing steamer.
Do you think that's what they thought in the moment? This denizen of the depths is no mere...
I think people definitely talked like that in 1933.
Not as much.
Well, yeah, it's translated, yeah.
Hey, people, now. If it ain't Scottish, it's crap.
So I feel like because you mentioned the white foam, this is a perfect time to disclose a theory that I've heard about, Nessie.
Sure.
It is an upside-down whale with a giant boner reaching the ocean surface.
I've also heard that theory. I don't buy it. Because there's no whales in the Loch Ness.
So, do you know
I
the
like that
most famous photograph of the head did come out to be a hoax?
Ah.
It was a...
No, sir.
toy marine.
No. Upon new reviews of the photos,
No.
they're starting to question whether that's legit or not.
The photographer admitted.
Yeah.
It's the hoax.
The photographer admitted it, but they're saying it was under duress, that he might have been told to shut the fuck up.
They're saying maybe it could have, you never know, possibly might have
Let
been.
me continue with my Loch Ness sightings, please. George Spicer in 1933. When George Spicer and his wife saw a most extraordinary form of animal cross the road in front of their car, they described the creature as having a large body, about 4 feet high and 25 feet long, and a long, wavy, narrow neck, slightly thicker than an elephant's trunk, and as long as the 10-12 foot width of the road. They saw no limbs. It lurched across the road toward the loch, 20 yards away, leaving a trail of broken undergrowth in its wake. Spicer described it as the nearest approach to a dragon or prehistoric animal that I've ever seen in my life, and as having a long neck which moved up and down in the manner of a scenic railway. It had an animal in its mouth and had a body that was fairly big with a high back. But if there were any feet, they must have been of the web kind, and as for a tail, I cannot say, as it moved so rapidly, and when we got to the spot, it probably disappeared into the loch. Though he was the first to describe the creature as a plesiosaur-like dinosaur, evidence suggested by researchers at Columbia University in 2013 proved his story to be fake. The university and Daniel Loxton suggested that Spicer's sighting was fictionalized and inspired by a long-necked dinosaur that rises out of a lake in King Kong, a film that was extremely popular in theaters in his home city of London during August 1933. Hugh Gray in 1933. Hugh Gray's photograph taken near Foyers on November 12, 1933, was the first photograph alleged to depict the monster. It was slightly blurred, and it has been noted that if one looks closely, the head of a dog can be seen. Gray had taken his Labrador for a walk that day, and it is suspected that the photograph depicts his dog fetching a stick from the loch. Arthur Grant in 1934. On January 5th, the motorcyclist Arthur Grant claimed to have nearly hit the creature while approaching Aberchan near the northeastern end of the loch at about 1 a.m. on a moonlit night. According to Grant, it had a small head attached to a long neck. The creature saw him and crossed the road back to the loch. Grant, a veterinary student, described it as a cross between a seal and a plesiosaur. He said he dismounted and followed it to the loch, but saw only ripples.
I could shoot that one down.
Sir, go ahead.
1 o'clock in the morning, you're on a motorcycle, you're coming back from the pub. He is shit-faced wasted. Again,
it's Scotland. Pick
exactly.
a time. Oh, and sir, that doesn't hold any water because, I don't know if you know this or not, pubs close very early over in Europe.
In 1934?
Sure. Go ahead, do your thing.
Did it say he was coming home from the pub?
It did not say that.
Could have been coming from anywhere, shit-faced.
Right. Fair.
It's true.
Nonetheless, Scotland, always shit-faced.
Generally.
Doesn't matter. So I don't buy too drunk. That's how they function. In 1934, the surgeon's photograph is reportedly the first photo of the creature's head and neck, supposedly taken by Robert Kenneth Wilson, a London gynecologist. It was published in the Daily Mail on April 21st, 1934. Wilson's refusal to have his name associated with it led to being known as the surgeon's photograph. According to Wilson, he was looking at the loch when he saw the monster, grabbed his camera, and snapped 4 photos. Only 2 exposures came out, clearly enough. The first reportedly shows a small head and back, and the second shows a similar head in a diving position. The first photo became well known, the second attracted little publicity because of its blurriness. For 60 years, the photo was considered evidence of the monster's existence, although skeptics dismissed it as driftwood, an elephant, an otter, or a bird. A fucking elephant.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking silly.
That's as silly as a fucking dinosaur.
Yeah. They're both on par with each other. Well,
Yeah.
At least an elephant could have escaped from a zoo and maybe lasted a summer. I doubt it's getting through the winter. It is not getting through the winter.
No.
And I also, A, have no clue if there was a zoo nearby. B, if the zoo was there, did it have any elephants? And C, a whole bunch of other shit.
That shit sounds very far-fetched.
There is no Loch Ness Zoo.
There we go.
Hey, what time did pubs close?
Back then, midnight.
Bullshit. I don't buy it.
He was drunk.
He's always drunk. Scottish.
Exactly. You know, whenever they're drunk, they start seeing stuff, they start slurring, they start being, speaking
You
Gaelic
know,
and stuff.
you know as well as I do. And Mike has seen it in me. You can drink yourself to the point of sobriety.
I've seen people do that, but it's not necessarily like, oh, you're back to sobriety. It's like you're acting sober.
Oh yeah,
You're a bit more balanced again.
it's like when you say you smoked yourself sober.
Yeah, you're still a wreck.
Oh yeah, you're still gone. There's no.
Since 1994, most agree that the photo was an elaborate hoax. It's been described as a fake in a December 7th, 1975 Sunday Telegraph article that fell into obscurity. Details of how the photo was taken were published in 1999 book Nessie, the Surgeon's Photograph Exposed, which contains a facsimile of the 1975 Sunday Telegraph article. The creature was reportedly a toy submarine built by Christian Sperling, the son-in-law of actor, screenwriter, director, producer, and perhaps most saliently, big game hunter M.A. Wetherell. Sperling admitted the photograph was a hoax in January 1991. Wetherell had been publicly ridiculed by his employer, the Daily Mail, after he found Nessie footprints that turned out to be a hoax. To get revenge on the Mail, Wetherell perpetrated his hoax with co-conspirator Sperling, a sculpture specialist, Ian Colin Marmaduke Wetherell, his son, himself a future actor, who bought the material for the fake, and Maurice Chambers, an insurance agent.
I am stupefied. That many people were involved in this nonsense, and it took to the 90s for it to come out?
Here's the problem, though. The guy who took the photo isn't in that group of people that said that the photo's a fake.
Unless, let's try and logic this one out. Was one of them a pseudonym?
No, he was a fucking gynecologist, bro.
No, one of the other names a pseudonym.
No, they're all known dudes.
Well, it does make some sense if they were. It's an absurd situation for them to put it on the water in hopes that someone would take a picture of it. The whole story sounds like nonsense.
In 1938, the Taylor film. May 29th, 1938, South African tourist G.E. Taylor filmed Something in the Loch for 3 minutes on 16mm color film. Film was obtained by popular science writer Maurice Burton, who did not show it to other researchers. A single frame was published in his 1961 book, The Elusive Monster. His analysis concluded it was a floating object, not an animal. There's a hole. I'm not going to show anybody. I show no one. You get one frame.
Oh, if I look in this hat, it's a new Bible. I'm telling you.
That's
Gold
sus.
plates.
That's it. Yeah, the gold plates.
Oh, they didn't translate the same way the second time.
Vinny, what say you? Sus, right?
I believe that there's a thing. You got to think. Lake Placid, giant gators, Jaws,
We're not.
Godzilla.
Listen, we're not at that point. I'm asking you whether you believe that the 3-minute film was held back because he was told to hold it back, because it actually proved that something exists in there that shouldn't be.
Yeah, why would you hold it back unless there's something to it?
Right? And only released one fucking frame?
Well, that... You're supposing it actually exists. And that the people who have seen it aren't also creating their own hoax.
It's still weird that if 3 minutes of this footage exists, to only release a frame of it.
If it exists, then yes, there would be some conspiracy to block it. But that's a big if. Like, I could say, I have footage of the Loch Ness Monster, and I'll give you one drawing of it, one image of it. Does that mean I have the footage?
Depends how detailed it is.
True.
No, I can still be bullshitting you. It can still be a great picture, and all it is a still.
I don't know. There's certain things you could just point out to, like, why would he put that in unless it's like a detailed picture?
Because I'm an obsessive compulsive maniac.
Well, That's noted. We'll put that in the backlog, but we'll still bite.
Moving on, William Fraser, 1938. William Fraser, Chief Constable of Inverness Shire, wrote a letter that the monster existed beyond doubt and expressed concern about a hunting party that had arrived with a custom-made harpoon gun, determined to catch the monster dead or alive. He believed his power to protect the monster from the hunters was very doubtful. The letter was released by the National Archives of Scotland on April 27, 2010. Sonar readings in 1954 and December 1954, sonar readings were taken by the fishing boat Rival 3. Its crew noted a large object keeping pace with the vessel at a depth of 146 meters. It was detected for 800 meters before contact was lost and regained. Previous sonar attempts were inconclusive or negative. In 1955, Peter McNabb at Urquhart Castle on July 29, 1955, took a photograph that depicted two long black humps in the water. The photograph was not made public until it appeared in Constance White's 1957 book on the subject. On October 23, 1958, it was published by the Weekly Scotsman. Author Ronald Binns wrote that the phenomenon with McNabb, which McNabb photographed, could easily be a wave effect resulting from three trawlers traveling closely together up on the loch. The Dinsdale film in 1960, aeronautical engineer Tim Dinsdale filmed what he believed to be a dark hump that left a wake crossing Loch Ness on April 23, 1960. Dinsdale, who reportedly had the sighting on his final day of search, described it as mahogany red with a blotch on its side when viewed through binoculars. He said that when he mounted his camera, the object began to move, and he shot 40 feet of film. According to the Joint Air Reconnaissance Intelligence Center, who published a 1966 report analyzing the film, the object was probably animate. After the film, Dinsdale continued to pursue finding the Loch Ness Monster, but while he claimed to have had additional sightings, he was unable to produce more photographic evidence.
I'm watching it right now. It's a boat. You could see the wake behind it. That's totally a boat.
Very rare that Joe makes such a declarative statement. You know there's got to be something wrong there.
You could see it.
In 1977, the Loch Ness Muppet. May 21st, 1977, Anthony Doc Shields, camping next to Urquhart Castle, took what were alleged to be the clearest pictures of the monster then available. Shields, a magician, claimed to have summoned the animal out of the water. He later described it as an elephant squid, claiming the long neck shown in the photograph is the squid's trunk, and that a white spot at the base of its neck is its eye. Due to lack of ripples, it has been declared a hoax by many people and received its name because of its staged look.
Sounds like a dick.
In
Like
In 2007, the Holmes video. On May 26, 2007, 55-year-old laboratory technician Gordon Holmes videotaped what he said was this jet black thing about 40 meters long, moving fairly fast in the water. Loch Ness Monster watchers described it as among the best footage ever. BBC Scotland broadcast the video on May 29, 2007. Went on to air a couple other times. Adrian Shine, marine biologist at the Loch Ness 2000 Centre in... Fuck you, Scotland. Drumnadrochith suggested that the footage was an otter, seal, or a water bird.
Let's see.
On August 24th, 2011, Loch Ness boat captain Marcus Atkinson photographed a sonar image of a 1.5 meter wide, unidentified object that seemed to follow his boat for 2 minutes at a depth of 23 meters, and ruled out the possibility of a small fish or seal. In April 2012, a scientist from the National fuck me, words is hard tonight.
You had it right the first time.
I did.
Yeah.
Center said the image is a bloom of algae and zooplankton. The George Edwards photograph on August 3rd, 2012, skipper George Edwards claimed that a photo he took on November 2nd, 2011 shows Nessie. Edwards claims to have searched for the monster for 26 years and reportedly spent 60 hours per week on the loch aboard his boat, Nessie Hunter 4. Taking tourists for rides, Edwards said, "In my opinion, it probably looks like a kind of manatee, but not a mammal. When people see 3 humps, they're probably just seeing 3 separate monsters." Other researchers have questioned the photograph's authenticity, and Loch Ness researcher Steve Feltham suggested that the object in the water is a fiberglass hump used in a National Geographic Channel documentary, which Edwards had participated.
Before you go on, Nessie Hunter 2 is the laziest name for a boat I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would also like to jump in here. I just realized I've been misspeaking. About the whale's member, a dork. The dork breaches the water.
Yes.
Or a dorka.
The dorsal fin?
Yeah. Loch Ness Monster's nickname is the dorka.
The David Elder video of 2013 on August 27th, 2013, tourist David Elder presented a 5-minute video of a mysterious wave in the loch. According to Elder, the wave was produced by a 4.5-meter solid black object just under the surface of the water. Elder, 50, from East Kilbride, South Lancashire, was taking a picture of a swan at the Fort Augustus Pier on the southwestern end of the loch when he captured the moment. He said, "The water was very still at the time, and there were no ripples coming off the wave and no other activity on the water. Skeptics suggested that the wave may have been caused by a gust of wind." Okay, swamp gas.
So I'm watching the video right now. I'm gonna go with eel.
See, I'm glad you brought that up.
Is it this one?
Yeah.
Could be a random wave.
I don't know. That picture looked like it was a dork.
It does dissipate very quickly, though.
Okay, Apple Maps photograph 2014. On April 19th, 2014, it was reported that a satellite image on Apple Maps showed what appeared to be a large creature just below the surface of Loch Ness. At the loch's far north, the image appeared about 30 meters long. Possible explanations were the wake of a boat, with the boat itself lost in image stitching or low contrast, seal-caused ripples, or floating wood. And in 2021, there's drone footage. It was reported that a 20-foot creature was captured on a live stream near the loch. The most recent sighting of the Loch Ness Monster took place in April 2024 when a Canadian couple took a picture of a shadowy figure in the water. The couple, Per Malm and Shannon Wiseman, were visiting Urquhart Castle in Scotland. Malm and Wiseman were taking pictures with their children when they saw the figure. The couple described the figure as moving slowly against the current towards the castle. They took a picture of the figure and sent it to the Loch Ness Monster Registry. Now, that is a lot of sightings.
Mm-hmm. With no evidence.
Hear me out. Let's throw plesiosaur out the window. Let's just...
Yeah.
Not a dinosaur.
Okay.
No, dinosaurs are fake anyway. Go ahead.
Stop.
All the stuff you'll believe.
Very possible because of the caves that exist under the loch. Could be a very large species of eel.
Right.
Like,
We know that exists.
what we're talking like real fucking big though.
Like 20-footer. Anaconda size.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like big motherfuckers.
Yeah, because I'm watching the drone footage right now.
Now let's take off Monster, and you're looking at that drone footage. Logically, could you say, yeah, it's probably a big fucking eel?
Honestly, with the drone footage, I'm going with CGI.
Well, if this is natural, if this is pure footage, this is actually the only thing that kind of looks like a plesiosaur.
It does.
It's plump in the middle, and it looks like there might be flippers coming off.
Yeah, I could see a flipper on the right side in the long neck. I'm going with Adobe After Effects.
Okay, now, let's say for shits and giggles, could be a descendant of a dinosaur.
So,
Lots of talk with that.
I will toy around with this, saying, when was one of the first sightings? How long ago?
888.
Yeah. So back then, probably. But I don't think this thing, there's one.
See, now, that's where I don't buy it. If there's caves under the loch, right, and they go, like, fucking deep, And let's say they connect to that fucking ocean. Under the...
That Atlantic one?
No. I'm talking about, like, the under the crust ocean, right?
Oh, the Hollow Earth?
Yeah, no. Like, the actual one they discovered. The one that, like, it's out there. It's in the open. Like, we know there's a fucking ocean that has life and shit. Say, for fucking millions of years, during the Ice Age, these motherfuckers dove deep. It was warmer there. That's where they fucking stayed. And then as things started thawing out, they start coming up. And this is some sort of descendant from, like, a plesiosaur then. It has gotten smaller because of lack of food source, clearly, blah, 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 blah.
So I'm going on with what you're saying, because evolution, plesiosaurs did breathe oxygen. They did have to surface, but hypothetic, during the I forgot what the meteor event was called, but the meteor event that knocked out the dinosaurs. Scotland is pretty far away from the Yucatan Peninsula.
Sure.
Except that it wasn't structured the same way.
Right.
There was a lot of tectonic shifting in the 65 million years between that. So my biggest issue with that as a notion is you would need a certain level, a certain amount of them to maintain as a species.
Yes.
In the thousands, or else you get genetic issues that pop up.
Sure.
That's why I'm thinking, if it's anything that may be a relative of something we've never seen before, the salamander idea is one I like.
Sure.
The
limbs, stubby, could be mistaken as flippers. Most of them have legs.
Aquatic.
There are massive versions of salamanders. I don't know if you've seen them. There are like
creepy looking.
Yeah, there are 5 foot long, some longer salamanders, and they can survive in varied temperatures. They can hibernate. Let's say there's a cave system. They could hibernate in a system like that during the cold periods and survive and come out in the summer. And they have a life cycle that's quick enough, and there could be enough space for them to survive, for enough of them to survive to maintain a species. That one kind of makes sense to me.
So
how big does an eel get?
So I say, given the amount of sightings, plausible that something exists in that loch.
Out of all the conspiracies we've touched on so far, this is the one that I've never felt is what it is, but there's something more going on in Loch Ness than we know about.
Yeah, this isn't just like... This isn't sightings of something that take place in multiple different areas where it's a similar thing. This is the same fucking lake where people are seeing a very similar thing all the fucking time.
Loch Ness is 23 miles long.
Yeah, it's big.
Yeah, it's big.
It's big.
So there's a lot of area to mess around in there.
Yeah.
I've always had issue with, if this is an air-breathing creature, it would need to come up more than enough. With the amount of people whose eyes are on that loch at any given time,
Fair.
It doesn't make sense that it's air-breathing, or at least reptilian.
Right.
Got to be something amphibious.
Yes.
Obviously, since it's underwater, it lives in water, but something closer to a salamander, as far as I'm concerned.
Now.
Because...
Oh, go ahead, Joe.
What does this thing feed on?
Whatever it wants.
Yeah, it's probably omnivorous.
Yeah.
Well, what do eels eat? You can kind of probably go off that.
Other eels, fish.
Generally carnivores.
Yeah.
At least most marine eels are.
Yeah.
I've not seen any documentaries where they're omnivores. They're generally predators.
European eels, which are found in Loch Ness, but they say the largest European eel was a little bit over 4 foot 4 inches was the largest one recorded.
It's big, but not big enough to match most of these sightings.
Right. They prey upon bigger eels, herons, birds, and other fish.
Now here's one that I'll allow for commentary. Random genetic mutation amongst a species like that. Sometimes giantism happens.
Yeah.
It's true.
Squids.
Could get up to 8 foot. 8 foot could mess with someone's eyes from a distance. You're not used to something like that. Let's say it gets out of the water and squiggles along. Or it pops its head out.
Yeah.
And you happen to see it.
So, eels... European eels tend to live approximately 15 to 20 years in the wild. Some captive specimens have lived for over 80 years. One has lived for 155 years in Sweden. But that's one.
I'm not saying this is the same creature every time. I'm saying there's definitely been a colony of some sort.
What about interdimensional shapeshifter?
I mean, you could go that route. I think our panel of nah is going to be like,
I would have saved that for closer to the end of speculation, but
Now, here I bring you.
let's go to sliders right away.
I bring you some other things here.
Bring it.
Loch Ness, not the only fucking place that has these types of creatures, or
I've heard this.
these types of sightings. In Spain, the Anguila peluda, a monstrous hairy eel with a head covered in hair and a threatening malice in its gaze. The alkali lake monster in North America, a 40-foot-long alligator-like creature with rough grayish-brown skin and a horn-like appendage located between its eyes and nostrils. Altamahaha, a 30-foot-long creature with a snake-like head and flippers like a seal. The Amhuluk in North America, serpentine with horns. The Beast of Busco in North America, giant snapping turtle. Bessie, a snake-like creature 30 to 40 feet long and at least a foot in diameter with a grayish color.
Lazy.
Yeah.
I agree.
The black river monster in the U.S., dark-colored serpentine body with flippers and large bulging eyes.
African-American river monster, thank you.
Bozo in North America, serpentine creature sometimes taken for a log until it moves.
Does it have red hair that comes out the sides?
The Brosno dragon in Russia,
Duh.
serpentine-like creature.
No, Putin already wrestled that to the ground and choked it.
Oh.
Obviously.
Also, the Lebenkir devil, or Lebenkirski shart. 26-foot-long serpentine-like creature.
Who shorted?
The bunyip in Australia, variously described as having a round head, an elongated neck, and a body resembling that of an ox, hippopotamus, or manatee. Champ, Lake Champlain, a reptilian creature with slimy gray skin, 20 to 40 feet in length, with a long neck, horse-like head, 4 flippers. Charles Mill Lake monster in North America, armless reptilian with luminous green skin and glowing green eyes. Chessie in North America, dark-colored snake-like body with flippers. Cressy in North America, Canada, eel-like lake monster. Devil's Lake monster in the U.S., freshwater octopus. Diablo balena, or devil whale, South America, a huge black fish, bigger than a whale, with the head of a bull. Elsie Hamlet Lake Elsinore monster in the U.S., cross between a plesiosaur and a sea serpent. Flossie in the U.S., either a 20 to 40 foot long eel-like creature, round brown to blue-black in color, and possesses steel-black eyes with undulating hips, or a large-sized fish from 6 to 10 feet in length.
Ooh, big eyes, undulating hips. This fucking monster's turning me on.
The Gasiandiatha in Canada, a dragon that dwells in rivers and lakes of Canada, especially Lake Ontario. This dragon flies on a trail of fire and can also spew fire.
Is it apologetic?
Gritty, a long serpentine and potentially horned monster from Sweden.
Took me a minute, but I got that. I got where you were going with that.
Yeah, so.
Sorry?
The hairy eel pig, Roughly 15 foot long with a body like that of an eel and a skin tone pattern reminiscent of a speckled fish. Said to be as fast as a boat at times and also possesses a stubby pig-like snout and somewhat curly tail. The Hawkesbury Monster in Australia. G'day. 25 to 30 foot grayish black plesiosaur like with a snake-like head. Haji in USA. A Lochness Monster-like creature.
I'd expect India.
Hokua in Wisconsin, a long neck and small head, plesiosaur-like creature. Igapogo in Canada, a seal-like animal, length 12 to 70 feet, charcoal gray color, dog or horse-like face, prominent eyes, gaping mouth, neck is like a stovepipe. That's a long motherfucker.
Yeah.
That's 12 to 70.
12 to 7. That's a range.
It's a fucking jump.
Yeah.
It might be by tomorrow. It might be by next decade. I don't know.
All right, there's like legit 60 more. But what I'm trying to say is they all seem to be the same fucking description of creature.
There are so many differences in there. You were saying some had pug noses, some had horns on their
One was
heads,
a bull.
some had different colors.
Let's talk
One had a full face.
serpentine-like creatures.
I see this as FOMO.
That's a lot of fucking FOMO.
Yeah, all these places want to.
So
draw
you thought like back in fucking 1830, 1840, early American 1750.
Mm-hmm.
You was just like they sending carrier pigeons to each other and were like, hey, guess what? Guess what we got in the lock?
Stories travel, man.
I call bullshit on your shenanigans right there. I think that is definitely the same species of creature, and a lot of it has to do with underwater tunnel systems and how these creatures are
So
spread out.
Loch Ness is not connected to an underground ocean.
There's
But
there's caves.
There's a but.
Mm-hmm.
Does have a deep canyon that's speculated to be an opening to underwater caves that can be up to 754 feet.
Thank you.
Can be, so they don't really know. Therefore, Hollow Earth gets another little coin in the jar, doesn't it?
I do like the structure of the show where Justin will throw something out and is hoping for realistic support.
I present as much close fact as I can, and I'm like, see, this could be logical. And Vinny's like, trans-dimensional fucking shenanigans. They're robots from a higher plane outside of our fucking...
Excuse me, a lot of people believe that Inner Earth is a stargate to other dimensions. Who's to say Bigfoot and Nessie don't operate in that sphere of...
Bigfoot's on a different show, but...
I'm just saying.
It's actually a Trans-Siberian Railway going through the ELO.
Could be.
See what you did there.
I like that.
That's all I'm saying. All I'm saying is, more than likely, these things exist.
More than likely, ipso facto.
There's too many situations, too many similarities to just be like, they're not real. It's a thing. It is definitely a thing.
It's definitely a lot of stories.
There's a lot of stories.
I mean, I think some people were seeing whales swimming upside down, breaching the
There's no whales in Loch Ness,
ocean.
bro. There's no whales.
But you don't think whales just try to hump not ocean?
I don't.
It
There's
feels
no.
weird in
There's
my
no.
wiener.
There's no
They
way.
like it.
There's no way for the whale to get into the loch.
Well, I'm saying the other ones. I'm not talking about Loch in general, because now you've expanded the map.
Sure.
So now insert dorks.
Yeah. They could be mistaken for upside down whale boners.
Oh yeah, the white foam. By the way, Twitter. Shame on people on Twitter, because when I type in Lochness Monster and I go to pictures or videos, you see a lot of human penis. Just apply. So.
Like painted green?
No,
Floating
just
in water?
Do
guys
they put little
going.
googly eyes on it?
No, it's straight up porn now. Just time to unleash the Loch Ness monster. Blah.
Alright.
And I'm just looking for a dinosaur or a fucking whale penis, not a
That's
human.
why, that's why I'm
Not the dick I'm
Googling.
looking for.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, once in my life, I have seen something that looked like that right in front of me. I believe her name was Gertie. Or in Florida. It's a big girl.
Yeah, great.
she's got an ice cream shop in her.
Yeah. Not just Gertrude, Gertie.
Um,
Have you seen a lizard person?
so, yeah, I'm looking like at the surrounding bodies of what connects to Loch Ness, and yeah, they're too small for
Whales.
large, whales. Dolphins,
Sure.
but it's freshwater.
Dolphins have huge fucking wieners too, though.
Yeah. And they love to fuck.
Yeah, they do.
Anything.
So there is a canal.
So what are you saying, Joe? There'd be no whales here?
There
There you go.
Captain, there'd be whales here.
Here's your Star Trek for the night.
Yeah. Better than the last Star Trek I watched.
Not this show. Not this show.
I see the thumbnail for that movie. I don't even understand how it's supposed to be Star Trek based on that picture. What is it called? 31?
It's so bad. It's so bad.
I clicked it just to see what the fuck is this? I'm like, oh, it's fucking Star Trek. It's odd.
People are calling it a really good Marvel movie.
It's not even a good Marvel movie. It's just a bad movie. But anyways, I digress for...
Yeah. Nothing to do with Loch Ness.
No,
Yeah.
So yeah.
I'd have an easier time believing an old witch turned some bratty little princess's mom into a bear.
I love that movie.
Both equally possible.
And then her 3 pain-in-the-ass siblings. They deserved it. They should have stayed that way.
They should have, but
Really
I
in the asses.
freaking love that movie.
Justin, do you think if Nessie was attacking someone in the ocean, you could be like, hey, knock it off, and it would stop?
That's the big thing, because these places are freshwater. I don't see this thing being in saltwater.
Very few life forms that can do both that.
Yeah.
I believe.
Yeah.
Gators,
Bull sharks.
bull sharks. That's pretty much it.
Fucking the fact that bull sharks can do it terrifies me.
They are possibly the worst shark ever.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
the deadliest shark on the planet.
Yeah.
We should eradicate them.
No, they're important. We should just stay out of the water. I've
We
been doing it for
should.
like 20
We should stay out of the fucking water.
No. Obviously, stay out of the water. I hate the goddamn ocean. But also, murder the motherfuckers. We murdered the short-faced bear, and that was a land creature.
I mean, we've murdered more than that.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, a really
We should
really
probably
powerful
stop.
creature.
We should stop murdering things.
I agree. We should totally stop murdering things.
What did that shark ever do to you?
Yeah.
Except inspire Jaws. So yeah, really? You want him gone?
It did, yeah. It was a bull shark.
It's a killing machine.
So are humans.
But they
Not necessarily.
But they do keep the fish population in check, so the fish
Yeah, but
don't
if-
overpopulate.
If we don't keep the fish population in check because we massive fish, then we gotta take out the competition. That's all I'm saying.
Right. So you're
Part of the deal.
You're proving my point that we are also species of killers. By far the worst, actually.
Well, we're better at it.
No. We just haven't run into anything that can really stop us in mass.
Well,
Until the orcas banned against us when we go into the
Well,
water.
that started. They started attacking boats this last summer. They were like, "Fuck you, humies, out."
So far, I'm content. They only seem to be going for the really rich people, but that'll change.
Yeah,
So I don't go in the water.
that and your pasty
Yeah.
complexion.
ankle to waist deep. That's it.
Clear.
I am
I gotta be able to
fuck.
see my feet. If I can't see my feet, nope.
You look like a giant version of one of those jellies you put on the end of a hook.
Yeah, fuck that.
Anyway,
Fuck the ocean.
that's an episode. If you like what you hear, go to facebook.com/nerdities. Follow us on Twitter for the time being until I get kicked off for calling Elon Musk Trump's cuck. Yeah, I did that today.
He's a Bond villain.
Yeah.
But Elon sucks. Is that too lazy?
Way too lazy.
Okay.
Tell people you can listen to us wherever you get your fine free podcasts, especially on Spotify. Makes it super easy. Got your music and us.
Hey, we can share video on Spotify now?
Yep.
Shit, really?
Yes, we can.
Yep.
Oh, shit.
Option.
Yeah.
Most recent update.
Yeah. We can do a video podcast on there.
Oh, shit. Okay. We could, if you want to start doing it, we could totally can.
Nah.
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
Okay. Speaking of videos and all that fun stuff.
I'm not done yet.
Oh, okay.
That was Kyle's bit first. Now, I say, go to prowrestlingtees.com/nerdities and buy your shirts like you have been. Thank you.
I just threw out my first Nerdity shirt that we got from there, the one that's just Matt Damon, because it had a rip from the way I lay down. The image on the front is still pretty perfect. Like,
Quality.
flawless.
Not mine.
Always been
My
quality.
Bad Demon is pretty haggard.
Because you used it for a cleanup towel.
Ugh.
Yeah,
Speaking
Sven is
of-
very acidic.
Speaking of fucking, want to get laid this Valentine's Day? Want to treat your significant other real nice like? Guarantee you getting a little... Head on over to sinfulcreationsbyjustin.com. Get your sweetheart something sweet to eat, unless they're diabetic, and then otherwise I can't help you because I don't have any sugar-free desserts. I do have vegan and gluten-free though. Why the fuck you looking at me like that?
We weren't sure if there was more to it.
Yeah, I wasn't either. You said vegan or sugar-free. I'm like, oh. Okay.
No, I said, yeah, no sugar-free. Vegan
No
and
sugar-free.
vegan and gluten-free.
So back to the video thing. What's everybody doing February 25th at 8 p.m. Eastern? You know what everybody's doing? They're going to watch Nerdities live on YouTube with Nerdities Trivia Night.
Silky smooth, Joe.
I know, right?
And what do they get for watching?
They get prizes.
Prizes, you say?
Definitely audience participation questions.
Damn right.
So be sure to like, share, and subscribe to all things Nerdities, and ring that bell to get notified when new content is coming, or when we go live, because going live is fun. And there might be video podcasts in the future. There also will be the final installment of the Joe trilogy titled Justice League. There is a feature film in the works. We have season 2 of Nerd ETs. Yes, I went completely out of order, but I'm weird. Also, we have some short films that we're probably going to do.
We have a new podcast joining the lineup too. EPW. Our made-up fairy tale version D&D Wrestling Federation. We actually record the first 5 episodes this Saturday. And I can't fucking wait.
This is going to be silly. I've already started practicing some promo.
Bro, when you find out who the commentary team is,
I've got some catchphrases already.
it's a hint. I'll give you a hint. It is the offspring of a WWE Hall of Famer's sidekick.
Well, that's nice and vague.
Yep.
So yeah, we need budget to do all this stuff. If you want higher quality, give us money. Write to us at nerdies@gmail.com. We'll want to talk about your business and or product. Do I still love Liquid Death?
I know when I'm really fucking thirsty, it's the only way to murder it.
I want to murder my thirst with that delicious Liquid Death iced tea. Because I don't drink the sparkling water.
I'm a sparkling water guy.
Their iced teas are really good.
I don't drink caffeine.
That's not me being fake or anything. Their iced teas are really good.
He's definitely not shilling because we're not getting any money yet.
Nah, not yet.
The opinions of the Nerdy Screw Radio. I can't pull it up, but don't worry, next week's be far more insulting. On to the next show, bye.
Because of the end of civilization, the Clamp Cable Network now leaves the air. We hope you have enjoyed our programming, but more importantly, we hope you have enjoyed life.